So this area now is a very wealthy part of Beverly Hills, known as the Grove. My friend Dave's just telling me. Designer shops, apparently that's one of the last remaining bookshops there. Very wealthy part of Beverly Hills. This is, I think, the way the rest of the world see America. Extremely wealthy if you've got money. But imagine if you're, as I say, working class, it's quite a different story. But quite breathtaking scenery. Everything's new. I think that's one major difference I find between the USA and the UK. You know, our history is much older, and America's still part of the new world the way I see it. You've even got music in the streets here. Cinemas, Call of the Wild, new version. I imagine a hell of a lot of planning went into this place. I mean, the ambience and the music and everything to get it like this. It's just breathtaking, really.
There's a trolley that goes down those tracks, but it might not be right.
Oh, I see. Where is it? Thank you for showing me. Yep, this is the Grove. Probably one of the biggest Italian restaurants I've been in, and the food is just so well prepared. And just waiting for my friend Anne and David to come, and this place is just amazing. It's courtesy and that of the waiters here. Recommend anyone try it. So yeah, thank you. So we're in the Culver Hotel in Culver City, also in LA. This hotel was originally, I believe, the money was donated by Judy Garland and Charlie Chaplin, etc. Early part of the 20th, birth of the silent film era. And downstairs they've got Laurel and Hardy on the screen still, but you see the decor in this place is very much early 20th century. I mean, look at those chandeliers there. Quite something. Look at that. And this hotel is still a hotel and restaurant, this place, and over the road, my friend was just telling me, is the original Culver Studios where Gone with the Wind was made, and you can still see like Clark Gable almost walking around there, you know, the way it was, and sort of 1920s, 1930s architecture. It's a very beautiful building, so I thought I'd do a little shoot here. It's very windy out tonight, it's kind of unusual. Beautiful building, this. You'd need to have a good camera to give this place credit. Look at that. Settees. And it almost looks like some of the sofas here and that are also like this from the 20s almost, doesn't it? You know, you could say that, you could see.
They do their best around here to keep a classical feel.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
That's why I've enjoyed using it for my events.
Yeah.
Because
sure.
Unfortunately, unlike the stalking horse, they don't let you have this for free. I usually have to put a little down.
I see. Yeah. Also, yeah.
Otherwise, I would have used it. Last week.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's a beautiful building, and so well kept. So well kept. You still looked after it. Yeah. It's fantastic. Thank you for showing me. Yeah.
Now, Anne just texted me that she's running very late, so I'm figuring if we're gonna get a.
So this is downstairs at the Culver Hotel. You'll see. Imagine they've all been here. Buster Keaton, Fatty Arbuckle, Three Stooges. All of them have been here at some stage. Judy Garland, maybe even Liza Minnelli. But this is where it's all happened. In the dawn of the silent movie era. Metropolis, all those movies. Are we going back down this way? Yeah, I just got to show you. This is the main room. see this beautiful restaurant. So as I say, it's a hotel as well. As I say here, they've even got Laurel and Hardy on the wall at this sort of thing. So you know, you're looking at 100 years ago. All this actually took place 100 years ago. Thank you. It's very lush, to put it mildly. Very, very lush. Yeah. This is the exterior of the hotel, the Culver Hotel in Culver City. And I'm told that Culver City is the original and the largest, or just the original?
Okay.
The original Hollywood film industry, like the Culver City, or the original, or the largest?
The original and the largest.
The original and the largest part of the film industry in the US.
They have actually plunked this on.
Right, right.
Yeah, right there.
It's very, very lush.
Now there's the MGM Lion.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, see that down there. Oh.
And then you can get an idea of the size.
That's the Culver Hotel. Wow. Yeah, that's something. I imagine they've cleaned the brickwork up on that a couple of times. Look at the decor at the top. Oh my God. You seen the decor at the top? Look at that.
Oh yeah.
My God. See that? It's almost like clubs and aces and everything. Yeah, the amount of work that's gone into that. It's just so original as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
You see, it's quite windy here at the moment. It's a beautiful city, Culver City, you know, there's...
So now you see the bright lights down that way, that theater marquee?
Yes.
That's the theater owned by Kirk Douglas.
Oh, right.
The Kirk Douglas Theater. It's a play theater, not a movie theater.
Right,
Theater. And they show mainly modern experimental works.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he only died recently, didn't he?
Yeah, just a month ago. Yes, Melvin's.
What was his We were just talking about the amount of names that have been changed here, you know, to make it into Hollywood over the years. Yeah. Thank you very much. Alright, I was just doing the live broadcast. Yeah, no problem. Hi from Sunset Boulevard. Nice evening out here and pretty noisy with the police. I don't know what's going on, but like a scene from Kojak or Starsky and Hutch.
That in London, do you?
No, not as much as this.
Stuff.
Not so much of that. Just it's all gone quiet now. The one I know, this is a famous Sunset Boulevard, long street all the way from Hollywood right down to downtown. Something's going on, we're not sure what. Yeah. Should we cross? Yeah. Easy. Have to join Weight Watchers when I get back. It's too many pancakes, unlimited supply. How many pancakes can a person consume in the morning? We're spending a day at this San Diego museum. It's got everything. It's got a space section, it's got an aviation section, and now we've come to the motor car and the bike section you see here, which is just some fantastic bikes. Original Harleys, look at that, original Harleys. And I know the guys at the T-Hut would love to be here because I know there's some big Harley fans there. Most of them, you know, I've done another film just now with British bikes. A lot of them here this is the American section, but just saying, Christian, you're not exactly a big fan of Harleys.
No.
Why is that, would you say? Is it?
Well, their suspension is basically a lead sled, and if you hit the smallest bump,
yeah,
you go, it just hurts.
Yeah.
Jap bikes rule. Sorry.
Yeah, they're still popular, fairly popular in the UK. Steve McQueen, Le Mans. They did a couple of remakes of that, but never really.
I've owned 7 Hondas, 2 Suzukis, 3 Suzukis, and a BMW.
My God.
I wrecked the BMW, and
You like BMW, yeah? Yeah.
it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a little too tall. It was tall enough for me, which was perfect.
Yeah.
But it had a high center of gravity. I had a Goldwing for a while.
Ah.
Okay, a Honda Goldwing, and the center of gravity on that was 6 inches below the asphalt.
Wow.
You could stop it and not put your feet down for like 3.5, 4 seconds, and then take off.
I definitely think you should apply for a job here because your knowledge is. I mean, he was a guy who came over. He was a curator. You know
Exactly.
more than him. You know.
Well, no, he knew
But
exactly
he came
what
to
he
you.
was talking about.
He obviously saw that you had some knowledge, and that's.
He
I
wanted
think
to
that's
see
the
if I
reason.
knew what I was talking about.
Yeah, and he did.
Here
I
we
think
go.
he confirmed his
1973 Honda CR250.
Yeah.
Okay. This is all the Steve McQueen exhibit. These are things
Yeah.
that he wrote in movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. The original's always the best. I've never seen any point in remakes. I think it just proves the lack of originality. You know, it's always
Absolutely.
best to, I mean,
there hasn't been an original idea in Hollywood in 20 years, man.
The Omen, the second Omen was crap. The second Exorcist
People
was
my
crap.
wife demanding to know what the 3 stories were last time.
Yeah, 3 stories. I must write that down about those 3 stories. That is an interesting one.
Well,
Yeah,
you
see,
can probably look at
Just showed you. Yeah.
So wait, you're going too fast. Come here.
Hey.
All these bikes have cables and such.
Right.
Excuse me. Sorry about that.
This is the American section, by the way. Yeah.
Look at this.
Oh my God! Yeah, they're just like a cycle cables.
Wow.
And what
No,
year
that's-
is this one?
This is
Indian.
1914.
1914. These were the earlies. Yeah.
This is a very accurate restoration. That one is, I believe, over restored, but this is more like what it would look like when you bought it new. Just about
It's
like
beautiful
this.
condition.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
one time they thought if you went more than 10 miles an hour, you would suffocate. It was that primitive. Little...
One of the wives' tales.
Yeah, one of
Yeah.
ours. So exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. But a motorbike and sidecar. I mean,
That goes along with if you close your mouth tight,
Yeah.
hold your nose,
Yeah.
open your eyes wide, and blow really hard, and your eyeballs will pop out. Same thing.
God, jeez, thank you for telling me. God, when I'm underwater.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, who wants to do that? I wouldn't be able to see anything anymore. God. So these are originals, the Indian. Probably the most famous American bike.
Yep. I've seen it sometimes.
Yeah.
But no, it's wonderful. Move that.
All American made. Good, powerful bikes, but I mean, this was just an early primitive brake
Right.
system, similar
Well-
to a bike. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if you look at it, it looks almost like the electric bikes are slang today.
Yeah.
With little motors.
Yeah, yeah. I like the leather saddle here as well. Look at that. Leather saddle. I mean, you know, considering it's nearly 100 years old. Well, yeah, 1914, over 100 years old.
Look at this. Motorcycle suitable for mass production in 1901. So this is before World War II.
Yeah, well, World War One.
I'm sorry.
Before World War One. Yeah,
I
yeah.
meant
yeah.
World War One.
This was actually before my grandfather was even born, and he was born in
Right,
1916.
same here.
So,
My father was born in 1920.
so this is old.
Yeah. My dad was My dad was born 6 years after this thing was made. It's fucking awesome.
This is one of the best museums I've ever been to, there's no doubt about it. Just have a look at these other. This is the American range.
That's where their factory is?
Yeah.
There's the Farns. The Farns guy. Everyone remember the Farns?
You see this? This is for going fast.
Oh yes. The Japanese bikes in the UK, they always say good and cheap and powerful. You know, Suzuki.
Well, that's what
But
when I did that 160 on the back seat, it was on the back of a Ninja 1100.
that was more inspiring than the ride we just did, wasn't it?
Well, he really liked to get close to cars in front of him, so the Volkswagen in front of us, the exhaust pipe looked like it was 6 feet across by the time we were getting toward it.
You live dangerous. You should be a member of the Dangerous Sports Association, I think. You know.
Well, not anymore.
Not anymore. No.
I did on BMW. I got up to 110 a couple times, and it would vibrate too much, so I didn't
In
really.
this country, you've got the roads for that. In the UK, the roads were built for horse and car.
Oh, yeah.
We just don't. We just don't have it. And it's, the roads here were built for the automobile. You know, we have no such luxury. You can, but you're going to get pulled over by the cops. We had a famous rider, Barry Sheen, who used to broke every bone in his body. 1982. Some of these designs didn't really take on, did they?
Holy shit! They got 256 miles per gallon on this thing.
It's excellent, isn't it? And it never took off. Main thing is, you know, I've never seen one of those on the streets in the UK. Look at it. It's just not going to happen.
Just reading the whole thing.
Yeah.
See, read. Okay, go to the third paragraph and read it.
They sealed the gas tanks.
Don't touch it, don't touch it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Sorry. A 2-gallon tank. Departed San Diego, and the bike performed like a champ without any mechanical problems. There was a minor hitch, however. Navigating the mountains east of San Diego requires to climb to 4,000 feet. Add the 80 Fahrenheit weather, the heat of the engine.
See, didn't I tell you about
yeah,
that?
Yeah, you mentioned.
That's exactly right.
The museum guy as well. He said that the British terrain, the British weather have got better. It just boils over here. It just boils over. Yeah, just too much.
They rode from here to Florida, Daytona, Florida, on 11.83 gallons of gas.
Good grief. That is economic.
214 miles per gallon.
But isn't it amazing? It's economic, but it never took on. You know, it's kind of. I mean, they've gone on to the electric car now, but economics is everything, isn't it? Especially with fuel,
you know,
with a precious commodity.
My
like
wife
fuel.
only rode on my motorcycle once or twice, and I was perfectly careful with her on it. I would never do anything, go more than 30 miles an hour with her on it, right?
Yeah.
It still scared the living shit out of her the whole way because she didn't have a shell around her, so she only rode on my bikes like twice. She never rode on my BMW.
Putsch. This is a Austrian company. Putsch made bicycles for kids as well. They were popular in the 70s. I haven't seen one for ages.
These are
But Putsch, here, look, Austria's
moped.
first production movie in 1903. Putsch merged. Oh, you see it again. It merged with Steer and Daimler becoming the races. They were taken over by Piaggio. Yeah, so I thought I hadn't seen one for ages. So that confirms my suspicions.
Look how pretty this is.
Oh, it's lovely, lovely colour. Yeah, they've got a lot of it hidden away in the casing.
Well, yeah, and behind and below the gas tank. I mean, if you look up, the gas tank is wrapped around the
Italiano.
Yeah.
Difference in style. Yeah. I think Richard Gere, the actor, he used to love. He used to ride a British bike. What was it? God.
One cylinder, 2-stroke. Wow. Probably made a lot of noise.
Ducati, probably Italian. So many American bikes. They've got a good, very good British section here, though. I was very impressed.
Yeah. It's the Italian national cars. And they look damn good on this Ducati. I would ride the shit on this bike. I'm looking to buy another motorcycle, but Beth would freak out if I did.
Yeah. 1903, 1930. Yeah, I think you have to take into consideration other people, don't you, when you do this sort of thing. Yeah, so if you're watching at home, it's an excellent place to come.
This one's
San
got a
Diego.
rotary engine.
What an unfortunate name, Wankel.
Yeah.
It's got to be West German, yeah. There's a place
They made a lot of
Mazdas.
Mazdas. They made a lot of Mazdas with this motor.
Right, right. There's a place in Germany called Wank, funny enough. I don't know whether it's Wankel rotary engine. The Wankel engine gives the motorcycle a low centre of gravity, very quiet. Got it all here, haven't they? Oh, they're your favourite.
When it first came out, it must have been like the ultimate.
This model has not been restored, so this is out of somebody's garage. Just here it is. We cleaned it up, sort of.
This I can imagine.
The only thing wrong with this is the chain instead of the shaft drive.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to, but I could. Yeah.
Maybe we put shaft drive on something like this.
Early Harley.
Early Harley.
Very, very Harley.
Yeah.
Hardly Davidson. Well, they've done well. I mean, they're still very popular in the UK today.
Well, they're popular as hell out here too, but
Yeah.
it's because people are idiots.
But what did Peter Fonda ride in Easy Rider? Harley? Wasn't it? Or was it Chopper? Chopper.
It was a chopper, but
Chopper.
it might not have been a Harley.
I'm not sure. I have to find out. If you missed it, this is the British section here. Look at that, all British bikes.
We didn't. Oh yeah, well,
Ah,
that's right.
I did some from another one.
I had a compound fracture.
You've even got a London cab here. Look at that, London taxi cab.
They told me I'd never walk.
£10 on the meter even before you get in there.
I fooled them.
Hi Damien, how's the weather back home? It's 80 out there today. It's lovely. You know, can't go wrong. I remember you were out here for a few months when you were filming, weren't you? We were talking about that. London cab. An old version.
Did you read about that?
No, I'm gonna do that now.
You want to read about that?
Yeah.
That's a very special London cab.
Right. Was it used in one of the Carry On movies or something like that? I wonder. No. Let me go and read it.
Who the owner was.
Oh, right. No, I've got to see this. Right. Thanks for telling me. I'm going to go and check it out. So this is a London cab, Austin. When they were cabs, it's told me to read about it. There's a famous owner apparently. There you go. This is a very famous cab. Look at that. No doubt you'll all be familiar with this gentleman. Who's that? Who's that? The one on the left. Huh? The Rat Pack. And this was owned by, I should say, this particular taxi was purchased by the legendary Frank Sinatra in 1968. Legend has it that Sinatra would dress up as a chauffeur and drive his friend around Las Vegas. God, so this is a very famous taxi. Just to imagine Frank Sinatra's ass sat in that seat. So they say. That one there. I'm sure his female fans were very impressed. So if you missed it first time around, this is the British section. And, you know, look at it, brilliant bikes. AJS, Triumph, Norton. My grandfather used to drive a Norton in the 30s, and I think they've recently gone back into production. They're actually making these again in the UK now. Yeah, my grandfather used to drive one in the 30s, but they've actually gone back into production again. Yeah, very fast bike. I think they stopped making them about 1971 and recently gone back into production. Yeah, great. You've got the roads of them out here. We haven't. You know, it's,
right. Yeah.
Wilson Park roads
and the weather.
And
also,
the weather as well.
That's the other thing. It's like it's almost
easy rider territory.
It's
yeah.
Indeed.
See ya. Ariel.
That is one of the best bikes ever, Norton. I remember my grandfather telling me in the 30s he had a few crashes because they had one that had a sidecar on it. Look, it's even got the 1983. We don't need taxis anymore like that, but he had a few crashes on it. But in the 1930s, you stood a better chance of survival, I think, than you would today with the size of the juggernauts we've got today. Horn on it as well. And here's the sidecar. This might even be, this is by make Ross, another great British bike. Look at that. Plush condition. I mean, the condition of these bikes down here are just wonderful. Look at that. You might imagine they must spend hours polishing them.
Yeah.
Sidecar. Although my grandmother used to call them motorcycles death traps because we knew quite a few people who died riding them. So you know, the mortality rate is quite high on the bikes. I've had one for a short time myself. Velocity, another British bike. 1927. Everything. Grudge. But not just cycles, I mean cars as well. Look at this thing here. Looks like out the Beverley Hillbillies. Remember the show, the Beverley Hillbillies? Beverly Hillbillies, remember that show?
I do, yeah.
It's just like the one who used to.
So that car shows up on the
Yeah. It's still here. I mean, you're 100 years old, a lot of these things. And you've got a bit of a modern section over here as well. This is San Diego. I think if you want to see really flash cars, my opinion, you should go to Italy. I mean, particularly, you know, once you leave Monte Carlo, you know, looking at some fantastic cars. Oh. Reminds me a bit of the Lotus Esprit in the James Bond movie, the one that went underwater, the Spy Who Loved Me. Lamborghini. This is the sort of thing you'll see in Monaco and Italy. Ferraris. I mean, I knew someone who had a Ferrari, about 5 million. He had to keep it in a certain temperature, a certain atmosphere to preserve its body, you know. And then you've got to consider depreciation as well. Let's see a Ferrari. What's this one? Lamborghini. Pizzerine. So some of these companies, like I said just now, have been bought up by other companies. The Putsch, the Austrian Putsch used to make cycles for kids as well. I used to have one. Working on it over there still. This, you know, you look at that and you can only think of America. You know, where else could that be but in America? I mean, you'd have to be a very eccentric Englishman to drive that around. How long would it last? No, we just haven't got the roads for that sort of thing. And here we go again. This was Frank Sinatra's. So it says Frank Sinatra's Black London Cab. You know, before he was famous over here singing, before the mafia got to him, he was driving a cab around London. You never realised that, did you? You learn something new every day. Yeah. I was just saying. Yeah.
Nice. Have you ever read any Hunter Thompson stuff? No.
I didn't realise that Frank Sinatra was driving a cab around London before he, hit it off.
And then at Vegas.
Vegas, yeah, I was just reading it. Yeah, fascinating.
With
Yeah.
Dean and Sam hanging out waving to people on the strip.
Really? Wow. I bet they pulled the birds in with that, didn't they?
Oh, sure they did. They also pulled in women.
Very good. I like it.
Oh, by the way,
local
my
vernacular.
wife's from Manchester. I have an issue with the British.
Please tell me.
Okay, here it is.
Go back.
When you take off your coat, you walk to the back of your vehicle and you open that thing up and you put your coat in the... What's it called?
It's called a cupboard, a closet.
No, your car.
A car.
The back of your car, you open it up, you put your jacket in, close it, and you drive away. What's it called?
You got me. I give up.
It's a boot.
The boots.
I even knew that. Come on, man.
No, boot.
He's lying.
That was on the tip of my tongue.
But the Americans call it a...
Let me think. Don't tell me.
Jeez, this guy, is he really British? Yeah.
No, in England it's called a boot.
I'll give you a hint, okay?
I give up. Tell me. I don't.
It's a trunk.
A trunk, of course, a trunk.
Now-
I should have known.
Now, 9,000 times out of a billion, 9 bazillion times out of it, the British are correct because, after all, it's their language.
Yeah.
But they're not right on that.
True.
Right.
Would you like to see why?
You know why?
I
You
would
know why
like
he
to,
doesn't.
yeah.
You know why he's not too smart right now? I just took him on the Max flight over at
Yeah.
the Airspace Museum,
Oh,
and I did a
Scary.
couple of Lomshavaks.
oh,
Yeah. Fucking hell, yeah.
And it'll do Lomshavaks if you do it just right.
now you see the back of that Cadillac right there?
Yeah.
What's that on the back of that Cadillac?
It's a trunk.
Thank you.
It's a trunk. I see. That's the reason why. Now I understand. Is it,
Very few times that the Americans are correct.
do you think a lot of this is because you got the Elizabethan English? You know, when this was England, obviously, the Georgian English, a lot of that stayed, and we had to remodify the English language and make it into something different.
This was
Like
never
that.
England. This was Mexico.
This was. Am I right? Yeah. Am I right in saying it was
Can
called?
you take that sticker off your glasses? You're gonna put up with that all day.
No, I love it. It's the way I tell them the new pair.
Am I right in
Yeah.
saying this was called New Spain? This was called New Spain, wasn't it?
No,
California?
and it's talking about the Caribbean.
Yeah, the Caribbean. But I mean, the other side of the states. I mean, Virginia, Georgia. This was all British, wasn't it? I mean, there must have been hundreds of soldiers who died around there in the war.
Yeah,
of
well, the
Independence.
problem was, see, we were hiding in the bushes, and you guys were wearing bright red uniforms marching down the middle of the alley,
Yeah.
the valley. That's
pretty
you
much
can't
it.
win that
It was
way.
crazy. And do you know why they chose red? And the red coats?
No,
See,
I
this
don't
is
know.
where I've got. He's just testing me now.
I
I'm
don't
testing
know.
you.
I don't know.
Right. The reason they chose red and called them red was red was the cheapest dye.
Oh.
That's the reason why. Nothing to do with blood being on the uniform or anything like
Well,
that.
I got to
But-
watch bad mouthing Brits besides the fact that my wife's from Manchester.
Oh, right,
Because
okay.
when we were in Manchester, we were standing, excuse me, just stay
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
just stay there.
Yeah.
So we're standing here like this, getting ready to cross the street. You with me?
Yeah, yeah.
And I went like this. And the guy standing there grabbed and pulled me back in the car and went, boom.
God, you were lucky.
I
there.
looked
You were
the
lucky there.
wrong direction.
Yeah, it's easily done.
And then
It's
you know
easily
what he
done.
said? Complete stranger, didn't your mother tell you to look both ways?
Not if she was American. That's rather unfortunate. No, the War of Independence was our Vietnam, definitely. You know, one of the main deciding factors they reckon was it was just the sheer distance between England
What
and
a lot
America.
of people don't recognize is Vietnam
was also Vietnam to the British. Are we?
Are we fighting the war?
Yeah, we're fighting the war.
Listen, give us back British America.
You can defend me here.
British America, we want British America back again. Yeah, we got our language, we gave you something,
Well, my take on it was always, it's not so much that we defeated you, as you just decided we were too damn much trouble.
Too much fucking trouble. And you've got to remember, when you're fighting a war on all fronts, as we were fighting a war in India, South Africa, Palestine, don't forget we lost 758 soldiers in Palestine, India. We had the world. We had an empire in which the sun never set. And that's why we took on one war too many, And the British Army, the best army in the world, the best navy in New York Harbour, apparently they were sinking British vessels with these makeshift dustbins, which later became submarines. So then King George sent about another 1,000 ships, and we still fucking lost it, But I imagine they didn't.
And then the French piled on, and that didn't help.
Well, the French and Spanish were arming you guys, And but I imagine around the Virginia area there must be a lot of graveyards for British soldiers, or did they take them back, or?
Do you know? Despite having lived in Virginia most of my life, I'm not sure I ever noticed.
Yeah. Because I know in Gettysburg, there was a big battle at Gettysburg, and there's some graves, but I very much doubt they would have taken the British bodies back to the UK. It was just too far.
Wouldn't have been practical.
I mean, according to Donald Trump, the reason we lost the war was we didn't secure the airports. Now we know the reason why. We didn't secure the
He actually said that.
But he was being...
That is
he was
literally
being,
one of the...
But that's just his jocular sense of humour, isn't it? Is his jocular, or he actually believed that?
I
think he believed it.
He talks out of his ass.
Right.
He doesn't know what he's saying.
Is that why they call him Trump? Is that why they call him Trump? Because he talks out of his ass?
His family name is Drumpf. I
Trump.
do not
German
type the
name.
word Trump into my computer. I type small letter D, RUMPF.
Right. Yeah.
Every time I mention his name, I just do his family name.
I just refer to him as President Twitter.
Or 45.
Or President Twitter, for sure.
There you go.
He's not very popular here in California, that's for sure, is it?
There's a few people
Yeah.
that are like, they'll walk around in red hat. And
Yeah.
if you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, Larry David
Yeah.
wears the
Yeah.
Make America
I've
Great
got a
Again.
friend who is a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
She is African American.
Right. There's quite a few of them around, I think.
It's like, I just can't get my head around.
But what about peace in
that's
North
like-
Korea? Didn't he get peace from North Korea? Like he talked. I mean, Falklands. I was in the army nearly 40 years ago. Falklands. I'd rather have
There
someone
wasn't
of
ever
discreet
any non-peace
talk
in
peace
North Korea. There
rather
wasn't
than
any
sending us to our death.
There wasn't any non-peace in North Korea.
Well, there could have been with Hillary
No,
Clinton.
there wasn't.
Don't you think
There wasn't
Hillary
any
Clinton-
non-peace in
he
North
hasn't-
Korea. He walked in
Basically,
there
the
once.
state of Korea is the way it's always been.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a relative peace on a hair trigger.
Right.
Yeah.
100 yards
It's
apart.
been like that
100
for-
yards apart.
But I mean, the last war in the
DMZ,
50s was
boom.
vicious. I mean, I think the British and American forces were dropping Agent Orange on the Chinese guys. It was vicious. I think we had the Turks there. It was, take it from me. I saw the guys coming back from the Falklands, feet off. Anything's better than war. Anything.
Exactly.
It's young men in the prime of their life should be philosophizing, enjoying themselves, coming here.
War buggers up people every which way.
And it resonates down the generations. I mean, my grandfather spent 6 years in the German POW camp, affected his relationship with my father, which in turn affected me. And it does affect you. He was always grateful he wasn't captured by the Japs,
I got to
obviously.
sit on that Vincent $20 years ago.
That one or one like it?
It might have been, I'm not sure. It was the same color, the black one. I don't know. That looks like it's from someone's collection, but this one was owned by the museum. And they had a parade, and they actually rode it in the parade at 4 miles an hour. I didn't get to. I'm not going to lie about that. But I did get to ride the big one-wheel bicycle, the giant one.
Yeah, it's all before my time.
I'm lucky enough that I'm tall enough that I can get up on that damn thing and not die.
And
Have you ever ridden it?
And you're also dumb enough to get up on that thing.
It's
Does
fun.
that give you?
It was fun. You just didn't want to go more than 7 or 8 miles an hour because the brakes were like pedaling backward.
No,
and
I would get up on that thing, and my first thought was, how the hell do I get down without killing myself?
Well, you have to make it fall over and then put your foot out at the last second.
I don't think so.
That's exactly how you do it, though. But
You guys like living very dangerously down here, got it? So you know,
He does.
he
I
does,
don't.
yeah. He's still here to tell the tale. You know, that's the main thing.
I wanted so badly to ride that damn thing in the parade.
Yeah.
What I wanted to do was ride it to the parade. I told him I'd get it there in about 30 seconds.
We've just been on. What's the name of the thing in there that simulates flight? What's the name of it called?
We were in Max
Yeah.
Flight over in
Saying, say your prayers now. Say your prayers now. You know?
I did like so many great. I did like 2 or 3 launch walks, and a ton of. By the way, we're about to flip.
Yeah, and he wanted to take me on a roller coaster yesterday, you know, and he brings me up. I actually believe in Jesus. I actually now believe in Jesus.
Closed. What a bother.
And this is what you call a friend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we don't need enemies here.
Yeah, no.
I'll let
No,
him
he's-
fly it too. He just,
It was good. Imagine it grows on you. You know, the roller coaster ride and everything. It's there's an exhilaration. You get that certain exhilaration.
once when I was around like
If you call being scared shitless.
when I was around 14, I got to ride that roller coaster 31 times in a row. And the only way to do that is to get out, run down the ramp, run around this way, run back the other ramp, and get on the roller coaster. Every single time the guy told us to stop running, and he only told us 31 times, and then he told us to get the fuck out.
Did anybody ever tell you to get medication for that problem?
Yeah. I said it should come to Blackpool. We've got one in Blackpool called the Big Max ride, and it's much bigger than that. I mean, you come down vertical.
But it wasn't built in 1921.
No, it wasn't. No, that's true. That's true. We'll let you off there. Yeah.
And rebuilt in 1986.
Yeah. Fascinating museum.
Here's a fun fact for you. This building was built in 1935
Right on.
as a temporary building.
Yeah.
Good grief.
You know what? You're right, because I do live on Florida Street. Been there for 35 years. I'm in a house that was built for Navy officers in the Navy hospital in 1927 when they built the hospital. So I know what we're talking about temporary buildings. Yeah, exactly. In fact, most of the western part of Belleville Park was built in 1915.
Right.
As temporary buildings. They've been there for 105 years.
For that first exhibition, and then this one. in
When did they
35.
bring? They bring aviation in here? I mean, obviously.
I've only lived out
Right,
here
right,
3
yeah,
years,
yeah,
so I'm not.
Yeah. It's fascinating.
Not
But
sure.
where are we going to go now then? I mean,
We're
we've
going
seen
to go
Frank's
through
car.
70s cars
Let's
that
just
we had
another
to pay extra money to
another
go
quick
get.
look at Frankie's car. I've seen my way as I'm walking up to it.
Oh, okay.
So this is I did it the Mafia way. Here we go. Frank Sinatra's Cabaret. Yeah, I mean, is that an American car or is that an Iraqi car?
That's
This one? Where would you say this car is actually from?
57 Chevy. Right there.
Who the hell built that?
No, it's not. It's a Cadillac.
It's got to be Elvis Presley. It's got to be Elvis's car. Did he used to drive around
Well,
in
there's
that?
a sign over here. This is the kind of car you want.
Frank Sinatra's ass sat in that car. I can't believe it. I'm still gobsmacked. He drove it as well. My God! And Dean Martin shouting obscenities out the window.
It said
And
he'd dress up as a chauffeur sometimes.
sure, but yeah,
So people.
he had some modesty about him, didn't he? There's no doubt about it. I didn't realise he was a London cab before he hit it big over here. You know, I never realised that. Thank you, bye.
Fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, how many miles to the gallon would you say?
This thing?
Does it say?
With all the engraving on it, 12. As long as there's a downhill area.
Only Elvis could afford the gas, couldn't he? Chevrolet. So, and it's just saying the mint condition that they're in, you know, considering they're over 100 years old.
I started talking to the motorcycle guy, and he bought himself a Harley, and he only rode it 1,000 miles before he got scared. And I told him, "Wow, that's a shame, man. That's really a shame. Give that shit away."
But no, I think American cars have definitely got smaller, haven't they? I mean, if you look at some of the detective series from the 70s, you know, Cannon and all that, they were huge.
I had a customer that had one of these once, and he blew the motor up, so he put a Corvette motor in the back instead.
Right. We were talking about the James Bond car, though, you know, Lotus Esprit from Spy Who Loved Me, and that's very similar, isn't it? I'd say,
This entire
some sort
car,
of style,
the
white.
entire outside the body of this car is made of stainless steel, so there's no reason to ever paint it or polish
Right.
it.
That's unique. I'll tell you, this is MG, beautiful car. Yeah.
And the thing is, he financed his business by selling cocaine, and he got busted.
He got me there. I should have known that. The trunk, though. Yeah, trunk. Yeah. So
Yeah, I
you just say
couldn't
trunk,
believe you didn't know.
Yeah. I should have known.
It must have been the brain damage.
It's the brain damage from that thing you took me on just now. You know, it's.
Oh, and by the way, call it right. It's Dane Bramage.
Dane, but right. Thank you for telling me. Yeah. How long will it take me to get better?
It could be weeks.
Oh, there's a few more here.
All right, look, you blockade runner.
Yeah, he got me there on the trunk. He was asking me what in England we call it a boot, but I didn't realise the trunk at the back. You know, trunk. But,
And, I've always wondered about that.
Oh, he broke his ass because this.
my neurons were going all over
Because
the place.
Trunk. Okay,
Yeah.
I can
Sorry, dropped my hat.
understand
Yeah,
how they arrived at trunk.
yeah.
How did you guys arrive at boot for the same thing?
It's an interesting point. Maybe it was Shakespeare. Maybe it was Shakespeare just trying to be different. You know, some of the English expressions. Yeah, boots. Yeah.
Because
Well,
Shakespeare
boots.
was into cars.
He wasn't in the cars. They weren't around at the
Well,
time.
the thing
yeah.
about Shakespeare
yeah.
was, if Romeo and Juliet would have been different if they'd have secured the airports.
Well, yeah, if it's
Right.
security, yeah, I must remember that.
Yeah.
For every military strategist out there, always secure the airports first.
Right.
It makes sense.
It
yeah.
said so right in
Yeah,
the Art of
yeah.
War.
Yeah, in the
Sun
art-
Tzu said it.
Sun Tzu
first,
said it as
yeah.
well 2,000 years ago. It must be true. So
First things first, secure the airports.
Donald's been reading Sun Tzu by the sound of it. Yeah,
yeah.
No, boots. I will find out. I mean, after the War of Independence, apparently the British like to be different. So originally, apparently, our accent was similar to yours. I mean, if you go to a place called Plymouth in the UK, I mean, I was walking around down there. I thought, why is there so many Americans here? And then it occurred to me, this is where it all began. You know, the Mayflower and everything. And I think that R in your language is very Western English, I think. But there's a lot of Dutch in it as well. There's a lot of Dutch in it. I think words
A lot
like
of everything.
a lot of everything. Yeah. But French,
But you know the old saying, don't you?
there's a few.
Two countries separated by a common language.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very common. Yeah. It's true, isn't it?
I belong to a meetup group, and one of the guys.
Yeah.
is-
Right.
is
It's
from
true.
Britain.
Yeah. I mean,
And we had an interesting discussion about the word fanny,
Fanny. Right.
which means something very
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Very,
Yeah.
very different.
Yeah. Well, in London now we've got the world's only vagina museum. You know, dedicated to vaginas to take the stigma away. But the word
pretty much
fanny.
all dedicated?
The word fanny.
But the word fanny here is just your backside.
Fanny
Your-
means backside.
Yeah,
Right.
your bum.
Yeah.
There.
It's the other one. It's the other side.
Whole
yeah.
different
yeah.
meaning.
Yeah. Funny. All these subtle differences. I'll have to find out. I really will. Yeah.
You know,
Could be Fanny by
guest
Gaslight.
sticker? No. Got in for free. Special exhibits.
Fanny by Gaslight, Fanny Hill. There were two novels, Fanny by Gaslight and Fanny Hill. Quite a sort of lewd British novel.
Right,
It could have
right,
come
I
from
know
them.
of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got in free. Special exhibit is $2.
trying to remember what car I had that looked almost
Yeah.
exactly
See, these
like
are the cars that Frank Cannon or Kojak or
Right.
Peter Falk would drive, isn't it? This is the real car. It just
we used to call the car the living room on wheels.
yeah.
It had a 445 cubic inch motor. It hauled ass whenever I wanted it to.
And why would
you
you
could
s-
make
yeah.
you could make the seats electrical. You could make
Yeah.
them push people's faces into the windshield if you wanted to.
And why would you say cars got smaller out here? What was the
Oh,
reason?
because of gas mileage.
Gas mileage,
You can't get-
economics. Yeah.
You can't
Right,
get
yeah.
60 miles a gallon out of that thing.
I thought
without
it'd be
some
economic.
Supreme
Yeah.
modification.
Everything's economic.
Well, you
isn't
got to
it?
remember, in 1973, the Arabs said, "Hey, no more gas for you."
I was just talking about 70s cars. Look at here it is, a Brady Bunch, Dallas, Starsky. What's this? Something we didn't have that. We had Chips, we had Mash, we had Starsky and Hutch. A couple of those we didn't have, but
I finally found the Fanny.
yeah. There's an interesting bit of information for you. Where did the word fanny come from? I must find out.
I don't know.
Yeah. Fanny by Gaslight or Fanny Hill.
Uglier gremlins.
Yeah.
Gremlins right over there.
This is what the hell is this? Oh yeah. Wayne's World, party
Yep.
time, excellent. It was a good show.
Yeah,
That and Beavis and Butthead, they were the Mad magazine of the day, weren't
my wife-
they? Here's your favourite men, Pink Floyd to all. Yeah. Your favourite man, yeah.
You gotta remember that my wife. Just never mind. I forgot.
It'll come back. It'll come back. It'll come back.
The wall got it out of me.
Mike Myers, I think, originally from Liverpool. 78. I think Krista McAuliffe was probably among those poor lady who died.
Yeah, she was.
I think the first female astronaut was 1983, I believe, in space. So it's quite a signatory moment.
So, where's the car? Or whatever they're talking about here. They're just talking about the 70s, I guess.
Yeah, I don't recall anything.
That was the end of the 70s.
Yeah. They called the 70s a sort of decade of bad taste, and I think it was.
Oh. Somebody brought a Yamaha in here, and they brought a cleaner in here, they should get together on that. And then
The Yamaha,
the
early one.
speed odometer,
Strong.
the trip odometer broke at 999.
Take a bit of work to get it back on the road again.
In here, children.
All right. Look at the ass on that. Cuts a cycle. These are just made from, as they say out here, this made from trash. What can you do with trash? It's amazing, it can all be recycled into. We used to have this game in England, Raving Bonkers it was called. It was made by Ideal. Two robots knocking crap out of each other. Two great American actors, Brando and Al Pacino. You don't fuck with Serpico, you understand? You understand that? Just because I went from playing Frank Serpico into the War of Independence. Not many actors do that.
Actually, that Johnson, I
You have to be a dwarf to get in this thing, then? God.
It's got permission.
Oh, right. Let's take a few photos. Oh,
You've got to take a picture of me with this
please.
too.
Yeah, why not? Let me just
Hold
put
on.
this down.
Okay, this is the camera. It's ready to go.
Right. All those watching back then, just sit you down there for just a second. Don't worry. Stay on this channel. Stay on this channel. What's happened to it? Stay on this channel, guys. Don't go here. This man is right. Here we go.
Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah. See, it's meant for dwarfs. It's like suits of armour in England. They were meant for smaller
If the
people.
damn wheel would come off, I could fit in it.
Yeah. Don't.
But it won't.
Yeah. You need to do.
Rats.
I'll take a couple now. Shall I try?
No.
No. I'm the
Damn it.
controller.
Rats.
I took a couple anyway. Yeah. Nice try.
Yeah. That's why they get guys that are 5'6" to run those races.
Yeah. I think that car over there was meant for.
I bet you money Lewis Hamilton's not 6 feet tall.
No, I think he's quite short. I believe. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. That was that
By
car
the
over
way,
there.
he's my absolute favorite F1 driver.
Right. Yeah. He's good. That car over there was for the banana splits, was it?
Yeah.
Can you remember the names of the banana splits?
No.
Corky, Flegel. Anyone watching? Can you remember the names of the banana splits? I'll name you one to give you a clue. Corky, Flegel. Who else? Hanna-Barbera. It was brought up by Warner Brothers.
Number 13, of course. That's my lucky number. Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser.
What?
They're missing an Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser, which is mostly made in the 60s, but they made them into the 70s as well. It's a station wagon just like this, except it had a window going across the roof
Right, right.
on both sides.
So you've grown up with all this. It's easy for you to remember it all. It's
My mom drove a damn Pinto
Yeah.
for like
This-
10 years. It didn't have the mirror effect.
this must have been Elvis's daughter's car. Disco. That's disco. This is sort of like late 70s disco, isn't
Yeah.
it? You know, jive talking, Bee Gees, that sort of thing. I imagine. You know, yeah. Jeff Travolta, yeah. Before he got into Scientology, yeah, definitely.
Do not touch it, do not stand in front of the fonts.
Hey, who's that? Any guesses? Who's that guy? Hey, Cunningham. He went on to be quite a quite famous Hollywood director, didn't he? What's his
And he's
name?
actually doing, Henry Winkler, he's actually doing
yeah. Is he?
a show, he's actually acting in a show right now on HBO.
Henry Winkler.
Henry Winkler. But who was Cunningham? That was the one who went on to make
Richie Cunningham.
But
Ron Howard, that was
Ron Howard, that's the one. Yeah, made Apollo 13. That's the
Yeah,
one.
and then he became a director. When they asked him why he became a director, he takes his hat off and said, "This is why." And he's like bald and his hair's out in 7 directions, and he's just like not.
Why didn't he make a remake of the Three Stooges? He could have been. What's the one with the funny hair?
Curly.
He would have been good in that.
He was bald, so yeah.
Yeah, he made another one called Backdraft. Remember Backdraft? It was okay.
Yeah.
But, hey, he's not looking like that now, huh? You want a nice at the pizza? You wanted the macaroni, you get a spaghetti. You get a spaghetti, you get the pasta. You don't want the pasta, you get it to smack it into the face, huh?
Alright, there's one more place you need to go in here.
Yeah, is this more? Fucking hell. Yeah, look at that. I mean, no wonder they call 70s the decade of bad taste. Look at the decade of bad taste. Look at that. I mean, would you wear that going to a party
did that
today?
in the 70s. Somebody did that last year.
Yeah, fucking bad. We had another TV show in UK called Jason King, Peter Wingard, and he had the most ridiculous hairstyle you've ever seen. Peter Wingard, you heard of him?
No, I haven't.
No, right, you haven't missed anything.
Okay.
He used to say fancy.
Right in
Fancy,
there.
yeah.
What you're looking for.
Yeah. Ah, right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Exactly why someone got stuck in my leg.
Yeah. You've been a great tour guide. Starsky and Hutch, hey, where's Huggy Bear? Yeah. We've got a sort of 70s thing going on here. Look at this. This is when they had This is when they had telex machines. Remember telex machines before they brought out emailing?
Yeah.
We used to have telex machines, and you could email something from London to Paris. You know, get there eventually. I quite liked the new Starsky and Hutch film. I thought it was pretty good. Quite funny. The actual guns. They were two heartthrobs of the day. You're probably too young to remember. Paul Michael Glaser and David Soul, two heartthrobs.
Yeah.
Every English girl wanted to meet them and marry them and everything. Starsky and Hutch, they were two actors. Yeah, they made a remake. It was more of a comedy, I think. Yeah.
About 1981.
Yes, I think that's about all of this section. It was good. That was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, this place is 1930s. I mean, it looks younger, doesn't it? They've obviously looked after it a lot.
I'm trying to think of what I had. It was the longest production car ever made. It was a Buick, and it had a 445cc motor. But I'm trying to think of the name of it. I can't because we always called it the Living on Wheels. And I drove it for like 2 years, and I can't remember the name of it right now. I'll have to look it up.
225 maybe?
It was. Thank you. See, I got hit in the head really hard back when I was first. So.
Yeah. prolonged concussion.
I was on one of those stupid scooters and flew off of it and didn't really come to for 5 days.
That's a long time. That's a long time to be
had
out.
Dane Bramage and broken ribs and shit. But
Mike Tyson was never out that long. You know,
But yes,
5 days.
It was an Electra 225, and it was probably the favorite car I've ever owned because it was so huge. And I made so much money by petting people with similar cars. If my car was longer than theirs or not, $5 in it.
This place is a history tour as well. You know, you've got the 70s section here, really, really good. I think that one over there looks like something out of the Beverley Hills. You know, the one that's full of, there used to be a show in the 60s called the Beverly Hillbillies. And it was like they struck oil and they were like rednecks and they...
Believe me, I know the
you remember it?
Hillbillies.
Oh, you don't look that old, my God.
Yeah, we all know that. We all watched all the reruns.
Yeah, same age. It was funny. It was funny. And some of the shows of the day, there was another one called F Troop, which was Americans.
Yeah, that was weird.
that.
Yeah, I
Very
like that one.
interesting. And there was another
That
show.
was Hogan's Hero.
Hogan's Hero, yeah. Yep. That was great, wasn't it? You know.
Because had the Germans really been that stupid, it would have been a short war.
yeah. It was almost as bad as the German in, what was it, the producers? No, what is this a joke? What is this a joke? You remember the one with the one with the...
Germans and the producers are hilarious.
Yeah.
The original was better.
I actually got to go and watch the producers on Broadway in the damn front row.
What, the original?
I could have literally Ralphed on
That
the
is
trombone player,
amazing.
no problem. And it was... I've seen the movie. My father was one of these people that was like, you gotta watch this. And so I'd seen it. I didn't get to see it with the original cast, unfortunately, but whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and then the next day we got to go see Spamalot.
Oh
it
my
was from the
gosh.
balcony.
That's amazing.
From the balcony.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about Broadway is 90% of Broadway is making fun of Jews and fags.
Well,
And
I
it's-
wish I could disagree with you, but I love Broadway, so I know you're right.
Exactly. And it's straight up, and I live in a gay neighborhood. I live right up the street. I have had gay friends all my life. I have no issues with it whatsoever.
Here's
I'm an ally.
Can I tell you a quick
posted on
English
Facebook
joke about
this morning.
gays? You may have heard it here. You may
I
know.
lived in England for 2 years,
Oh, right,
so
so
I
you know.
probably heard it. But
Listen, all these guys watching me here are going to know, but how do you know when you've been burgled by a gay burglar? You must know this. How do you know when a burglar's burgled your house? A gay burglar?
I don't know.
I don't know how.
Because you'll find the furniture's been rearranged and there's a quiche in the oven. You haven't always hear the first time, mate, yeah.
Good stuff.
Be a comedian one day.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get out of
Yeah,
here.
that's been fantastic. History lesson, brilliant.
We were already at the Aerospace Museum, and living less than a mile away is one of the greatest things in this world. I really wish my wife would buy the damn zoo pass again because we used to go in the zoo for an hour, and that's
I
all.
love the zoo.
And like get on the sky ride, and then walk back and go home, and it's like there's nothing better. There's nothing better.
There's worse places to grow up, I can tell you.
That's for sure.
Definitely. Yeah.
Have a great
Thanks. You
day.
guys have a good day.
Yeah, thank
Bye-bye.
you so much. Yeah, cheers. Oh, brilliant. So where are we off to now? Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys, and hope the weather's not treating you here. Well, let me turn that. Just say hello to my friends in England. Listen, I've worked with some of these people. Tim, Joanne, I used to work
Hello,
with.
Tim and Joanna.
He's a big Irish guy. This is a big Irishman, American
we should
Irishman.
check out Cars and Society real quick. I don't think we went in there.
Yeah, oh, well, let's go and have a good... Listen, the show is not over yet. There's more to come, so don't go changing. There's still more to come.
It's only a couple things.
Oh, right, yeah, we see most of it, yeah. Good, well worth it, yeah. Cheaper twice the price. Oh, here's another one from the fun fair by the looks of it. Yeah, I wouldn't fit in that thing.
No.
We've even got some memorabilia, some old photographs here. Carcraft. It's well looked after, I'll say that. Brilliant. We've got a company in the UK called Dinky Toys, or we did have a Matchbox. These remind me of those. Yeah. Have you heard of Dinky Toys?
I haven't heard of Dinky Toys. I used to collect Hot Wheels, so Matchboxes to me were garbage.
Hot Wheels was I think Hot Wheels was an American company to my knowledge.
Exactly.
Yeah. How beautiful, eh?
And Hot Wheels actually made some electric cars.
Yes.
And they put a track.
Yeah.
You could have a track. I had a track.
Yeah.
That
Me
was
too. Yeah.
set up, and you could run those things to death.
Yeah. Hot Wheels sold well in the UK. I mean, they were great. I mean, it was fun. You know, it was fun before the internet came around and that you could
Right.
do so much more.
But the only thing wrong with it was you couldn't control them. You just put them on the track and let them go.
Let them go. Yeah, yeah. And they get plane worn eventually. So what was the major company, was the American company, the equivalent of Matchbox? Hot Wheels, I suppose. Hot Wheels,
Well,
right.
one of the things that I did after I married my first wife was I bought an actual slot car set,
Right.
and I set it up in my living room all the time. And I put one super precarious 90-degree turn in it,
God.
and I put the entire grandstand right behind that turn and ran cars into the grandstand all
Kept
day
you
long.
occupied for ages, yeah. See, in England they would have a model railway set. That would be an Englishman's pastime, model railway.
I had that when I was younger. I had a model railway.
Model railway as well?
You know, there's a model railway museum.
Is there? Oh,
we're gonna-
that'd be nice to see that at some stage.
I mean, today is going to be a wonderful day. 'Cause
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
seems to be fixing.
Yeah. So it's coming towards the weekend, isn't it? It was today, Wednesday.
The model railroad museum will freak people shit.
Oh, right. No, well, I say,
we're
one
talking about
thing I haven't heard.
One track. They got one track that's as big as from here to there, easily.
One thing I haven't heard, I say, this visit is that horn, ooh, you know, from the American.
right.
Yes. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope the weather's not too bad out there. And I've got to come back at some stage, so say hello to everyone. Cheers for now. So for those of you that have been to America, particularly Hollywood, this is probably all familiar territory to you. But one thing I noticed in America is the sheer amount of consumerism. I mean, look, it's everywhere. New production of Harrison Ford in Call of the Wild. The original, I think, was in the 1970s. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was a great movie with Charlton Heston. And the music was very weepy, but it was a great film. And just to think that this was all part of England at one time. This was all the UK, you know, until we lost it in 1776. It's a war I never understand how we lost that. We had the best army in the world, we had the best navy, and the Yankee rebels were sinking British vessels around New York Harbour, which at the time I would imagine that Wall Street was probably just like a little English village, nothing like it is today. And after the British got kicked out, after some ferocious battles, I think the Americans pulled down all the Georgian statues, destroyed the remnants of what was once Britain, you know. So this is a fascinating thing. I always found it quite romantic to know that this was once English soil, you know. Over this side of America was more what they call New Spain, and if you see some of the names over here, like Hispanic names, it's more sort of definitely more Hispanic. Well, we're now by this park, which is quite high up here, and I'm going to take you and show you some great views of LA from the top. You'll realise there's no shortage of dogs out here. Fucking, I think they're more dog mad than British people, to be quite honest. Yep, yep, yep. I think they've got an election on out here at the moment, and I think in the States, when there's an election, you know there's an election.
Inside out, they're saying they have no idea when they're getting a voting.
Dog back there called Peanuts. Maybe he's a vegetarian. So there's the city of LA over there, just in the, what they call over here, the marine layer, you know, and it's not dissimilar to the skyline of London, you know, when you look at it from Epping or somewhere in Romford, anywhere in West Essex, you know, I think you could, you know, it's a bit higher maybe, but in England I think the city is coming our way for anyone who lives in the countryside. It's just getting taller and taller.
Love the front.
That's quite a skyline, not exactly Manhattan, but it's quite a skyline. Well, as Barbara Wodehouse would say, walkies! More dogs than the Crufts Dog Show, look. And I've never seen such varieties either. Things go around crapping all over the place. Not good. I thought the English were bad. Look at these. They seem to like these designer dogs for some reason. Candy. Candy. Names they give them. It won't be Candy if it bites him, I'll tell you that much. Dogs can give you some nasty... I've actually seen a result of a dog bite. It bit him in the small intestine, and his intestine was protruding. So never let anyone tell you that dogs are always friendly. They're not. Most dog bites are on the owners, believe it or not.
swap this for F6.
This is the LA Marathon, folks. Over 25,000 runners, the cops were telling me. Just started off with the Special Olympics, like the wheelchair racers, and now we're getting into the main event. And it starts really early here as well. Apparently the reason being because it gets so hot. I mean, the marathons in the UK start around 9 in the morning, but here 7 in the morning because it just gets too hot for them apparently. So that's the reason why. I was just curious about that. And no cardiac arrests yet, I'm told. And it has been heard of, you know, guys who take up jogging in midlife, overweight, and often they pick up a body in Central Park in New York. You know, I mean, if you don't look after yourself, this is what can happen. marathon's going on, maybe you'd like to play a game. It's Hollywood Hall of Fame. I'm going to show you a few names here, and you can guess, before I tell you the answer, what movie they may have been in. I mean, there's a few British actors here, but not too many. But recognise him? Name 2 films that man's been in. 1, Cross of Iron, Anglo-German production. 2, Murder by Decree. Any guesses? Any guesses? Apocalypse Now. Aha, this one everyone knows. Mr. Martin Landau, British production, Space 99 fame. Space 1999 was a production that kept Pinewood Studios open in the mid-70s. Without that, Jerry Anderson keeping that production going, a new grade, we wouldn't have Pinewood Studios. So there's an interesting bit of information. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Robin Hood, Waterworld. Another Robin Hood, not such a good one. And of course, the Italian American, the one and only. You talking to me? Hey, that's not for doing your fucking homework. You know her? Aha. I've worked for this gentleman, so I know him very well. Shawshank Redemption. That one about the nuns, I can't exactly remember. What was it called? Nuns. Something to do with nuns. Our one and only Joan Collins. Anyone remember the stud? She went topless in that. They should have one for Jerry Anderson here. I mean, he's the British Walt Disney, really, but maybe I should suggest it. Grease. Not just people, groups as well. Jim Morrison. The Street Fighter. Some of these I don't know, I must confess. Any ideas? Band of Brothers, Born Ultimatum and others. Opera cinema. Oh yes, Henry Mancini, my father worked with this man. What's the famous soundtrack? Any idea? The Pink Panther, of course. Most of the Pink Panther films. Owen Winkler, he did that movie. It will come to me. It will come to me. Peter Frampton, great guitarist. You think there's more than 20,000, more like 40,000.